This is Ken Pyle, and we are at the 2014 BroadbandVision conference. We're with Rich Fickle of NCTC, the president and CEO, and he was on a panel just now, and it was about, of course, content. And one of the things, you were just quoted heavily in the Wall Street Journal article, and one of the comments you made here was the idea that we're hitting a wall in terms of what consumers will pay, and we're starting to see the effects of that. So why don't you kind of elaborate on that, and we'll have a conversation.
Well, I mean, it's definitely a consumer issue, but it starts up the stream a little bit, which is rising programming costs, and they've been rising for some time, but they've risen more dramatically over the last 5 years, and it's to the point now where some cable operators are saying, "Gee, consumers don't want to pay that much more. I can't pass it through, and I can't take a reduction in margin to make sense of it." So they're looking at other ways to operate their business. Broadband is still a good business for most of these guys. They're very excited about that future, you know, some are looking at, gee, should I stay in video? Should I, look at video a different way? Do I need to be more discriminating in terms of what channels I carry? Even though it means that some customers may not be happy I'm not carrying some of these. And those are the choices that these guys are faced today.
Well, just to be clear, I mean, NCTC is the largest buyer aggregator for the smaller operators. So you bring to it that perspective of working with both the programmers and the distributors. Do you see any kind of realization from the programmers that maybe there needs to be a change?
Well, I think for years they've heard that, operators believe that programming costs are too high. And I think that they've become numb to that. There's a lot of pressure with those large companies to keep growing. They're not growing through advertising. The industry is not growing in terms of subscribers. As a matter of fact, in both cases of advertising and subscribers at the network level, they're seeing decreases. So they're saying, where can we grow? Well, they're public companies, so there's pressure for them to grow, and the only real way they have right now is through increasing affiliate fees. So there's pressure there. They're numb to the complaints of the cable operator because they think they're always going to complain. Nobody wants to pay more. But the difference is now some cable operators have said, I can't do it. I can't justify the cost of certain programming from a large media company, and have decided not to continue. And that backs up the complaints with action. And that basically says, gee, we've hit the wall on some of these deals.
And then it, of course, has resulted in some, strange things like some of the programmers, shutting off their internet access to those broadband customers. Right?
Right. So, in the case of Viacom, one of the things they chose to do is they have websites with content that has traditionally been free to anybody, whether you're a cable customer or not. Customer of a competitor like a DirecTV, didn't matter. It was just a way for them to market their brand and some of the content and provide it for free. In the cases where the cable operator has chosen not to renew their subscription, their agreements with Viacom chose to use IP blocking to prevent consumers from accessing those websites in those markets, even though they may or may not have been part of, that cable operator's video service. They may be getting video from DirecTV. So it's indiscriminate in that way, and it's taking away something that others that weren't even part of the cable operator's video service are now being blocked. Kind of a strange approach, given that people are concerned about blocking content, net neutrality, and but that is what it is, and there's some concern about that.
Well, in your panel presentation, you touched upon, and the idea was thrown out about being creative, working creatively with the programmers to kind of get past that barrier that wall we're hitting.
Right. So look, there's no magic answers because if their mandate is to keep showing huge growth, money doesn't grow on trees. But, maybe there's ways to help them grow advertising. Maybe there's ways for them to reduce cost structures. Instead of offering 15 channels in the marketplace, maybe there's a better way to do it. Have better content, taking up less bandwidth, less cost. Maybe there's ways to enhance the offering to be more attractive to millennials, people that are cutting the cord or shaving the cord. working with us as in partnership to drive more interest by people that are dropping out of the pay TV market altogether. Those things should really be explored. That would be good. And if not, I think it's going to be, kind of a, it won't happen overnight, but I think the trends will continue, and, it's not good.
Yeah. Well, Rich, appreciate your insight on this, and thank you.
Thanks, Ken.
Thanks.